Welcome to another Skinslip's 2015 Scavenger Hunt video. This is part 3. Part 3 being a film you discovered from another YouTuber. Now, like I said in the first video regarding this series, I couldn't really think of any films that I purchased because I discovered them from another YouTuber. That's not to say I haven't ever discovered anything, but I know a lot of movies that are out there, and I do discover obviously other movies, but honestly I couldn't think of anything in my collection that I discovered through another YouTuber. But I did mention that there were times when YouTubers had mentioned stuff like a sale that I either didn't know about, or that I had forgotten about, or that I knew about and I knew it was coming but I didn't realize that it had already started, etc, etc, etc. And so I went through, essentially I went through my collection and thought, came up to this, and I was like, you know what, yes, I'm pretty sure that I had totally forgotten that the Criterion sale had A, come about, and B, had started. And I'm pretty sure it was a Logan Toxic video. I could be wrong, but I believe it was a Logan Toxic video that, he's always on the Criterions whenever there's a sale, so I know right off the bat when it happens. And I'm pretty sure that I was watching one of his and was like, oh yeah, the Criterions, oh wait, I actually have money now, and I had planned to get something. What did I plan to get? I planned to get the Zatoichi box set. Now, this is still sealed. I've not opened it yet. And I've had it for a while. I'd planned to do an unboxing. So for this, I'm going to do an unboxing. And while I have seen a few Zatoichi movies, I honestly can't remember which ones. So I am likely going to check out one of the... I'll probably watch the first one, and then I'll subsequently do a review following this unboxing. Same video, so stay tuned. But first things first, I gotta do an unboxing. And just in case you want, I will put a link to Logan Toxic down below to his channel, as well as obviously the video for my original video for the contest, so you can link back and check out all the subsequent. There are 10 follow-up videos for this contest, the scavenger hunt from Skinslip. All of them will be linked in the description of that video, so if you want to check any of those out, or if you've come here through the playlist, you can just continue on and move on. But got the knife, got the package, let's open it up, being very careful. One of the problems, obviously, I got this and I didn't notice it right off the bat. Where did it go? It's on here, yeah. I don't know if you can see it, but see, it's right here, and it's got a line where the employee, I guess, had been cutting boxes or something, and he cut right through it. So yeah, or perhaps it was a return. Always possible. When somebody could have purchased it and opened up the box and was like, oh man, I've just cut my Zatoichi box set, so I'm gonna return this and say that it was damaged when I received it, and because this is uber expensive, guys, like uber expensive. Probably one of the most expensive things that Criterion's ever put out, simply because it's not due to packaging or anything. It's simply due to the fact that it has got so many movies in it. So let me get this slice of life off here. This off. Done. And we'll take a look. I don't know what is. So we'll say it's this way, so we'll say one side, that's the art. Here's the art on the second side. Here's the art on the back, the art on the top, and the art on the bottom. And then the box here itself, which as you can see has two parts. The first part being, of course, this little booklet. Here's the front of the booklet and the back. Continuing on, I won't show you everything, but it goes through all of the it's 25 movies in the set there, so it's got a little, I guess you call it a foreword on the road with Zatoichi The Blind Swordsman, if you didn't know anything about it. Here it is, the films. The first one being the Tale of Zatoichi from 1962, and it goes all the way 63, 65, all the way through. You know, Zatoichi meets the one-armed swordsman to the final one here, Zatoichi's Conspiracy from 1973. Now there are tons of other Zatoichi stories out there, and there's got even more stuff here. This is what is this? The Tale of Zatoichi by Kan Shimozawa, translated for this release by Juliet Winters Carpenter from 2013. So this is obviously a write-up about everything, and then it's even got, you know, about the transfers, special thanks and stuff. So little booklet. Not a lot of visuals in here, but a lot of words, which is good. You get to learn about it. And you pull out this nice big thing again. You got, here's one side, here's the other side. Gotta love that art in here. And then you open it up, and you get each little thing. So what is this? I have no idea. So the Blu-ray over here has got the Tale of Zatoichi. So it's the first 3 movies on the Blu-ray. Oh, I guess you can't see that. Blu-ray. And then over here, it looks like it's DVD. Yeah, so these are DVDs on the other side. First 2 movies on here, 3rd movie here. Again, they're in the cardboard, so, you know, be careful with them because they will eventually get damaged. Same type of thing here. Blu-ray with 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6 in the DVDs. Following on the exact same thing. Blu-ray was 7, 8, and 9. 7, 8 on this DVD, 9 on that DVD. And we got 10, 11, 12, 10, 11, and then 12, all the different DVDs and Blu-rays. Each one has got the sort of thing with a little image on the thing here. So again, DVDs and Blu-rays. So many, so many. Here's 16, 17, 18. $19, $20, $21. $23, $24. And then we get 25 and supplements. So this is 25 on DVD and supplements. What is this? Is I don't know what this is. This is just supplements. So there's a DVD with the movie and a supplements right here. A DVD with just, you know, extras. And then all of that on the Blu-ray here, and then finally pages. Alright, so I picked my movie to review, and I ended up going with the Tale of Zatoichi #1, because really I'm going to be watching all of them. Might as well start from the beginning, and I honestly cannot remember which of the films I've seen before. So yeah, I went with the first one, and it turns out that yeah, that was one of the ones. that I had seen. So, yeah, what can I say? It's the film's from 1962. So a lot of the film has a lot of tropes from earlier filmmaking. One of the things I noticed right off the bat is a lot of the scenes are set up and shot as if they are on like a stage play rather than being in a movie. The camera is very static. Even if people are walking around, it's very static for a lot of the movie. It does move sometimes, but it is very static a lot of the time. The film's directed by Kenji Misumi. And I'm gonna butcher this. The Japanese name, original title for the film is Zatoichi Monogatari. I don't know. That sounded like I had like an Italian accent or something like that. But the main character of Zatoichi, Ichi, or the Blind Swordsman, is played by Shintaro Katsu. Yeah, it's... I don't... You know what? In terms of critics and such like that, I don't think that, anybody said anything really bad about this film. It is a classic. I mean, well, hello. Got 25... How many, like James Bond style, there's so many of these dang movies. So, obviously, the character of Zatoichi resonates, and, it starts here and goes from there. It is one of those tales of honor and the code. I guess the code of the warrior type thing. I guess that's what I was looking for. Versus greed and selfishness. Zatoichi is a member of the Yakuza, and he goes to visit another sort of like a boss Yakuza member in another town who's having problems with another clan or gang or whatever you want to say, another Yakuza gang. I guess both of them are running like gambling houses, and it's essentially it's boiling up to these guys are going to fight until one of them comes out on top and controls the gambling in the area. Now Zatoichi is blind. He is a blind man, and he used to be a masseur, I guess, being a man, and this one basically gives some backstory. It's more about the character of Ichi and who he is and what makes him who he is, and giving the audience an idea of who he is, and essentially making it so that you love this character. It isn't full of action set pieces, even though it does climax to the two gangs fighting. Spoiler alert. It's pretty obvious from the beginning that's what's going to happen, though. And two warriors fighting off against each other. And in that sense, it's good. The action sequences aren't that great, especially not for today's standards. But even in terms of back then, they could have. I don't know if I think part of it has to do with the fact that they are still, like I said, there's still stage mentalities going on about this. There's no blood other than some spewing, but these people are getting cut down with samurai swords. There's no blood. There is even the sequences. It's like somebody runs at you, and one guy goes down, the other guy goes above him, and it's just like, if this is what it took to beat people back then with swords, whatever, a 10-year-old could win these fights because these guys, whatever, they just sort of run into the swords. And then there's the aspect of, Zatoichi, who's supposed to be this amazing swordsman, and he does have one scene where he does this trick with a candle, and that's pulled off brilliant. But there's other moments where he just comes off clumsy, and you might say you attribute that to him being blind, but the whole point is he's blind, but he's like better than everybody else. So that was a little bit of a take back, but still, I mean, the film itself, yeah, you know what? It's got two gangs, two master swordsmen, these despicable Yakuza members. It's got a love-struck, beautiful woman. It's got gambling, and it mixes all together in order to, tell the story of Zatoichi. And yeah, I don't know. He's a man who's true to his word. He's a master without sight. He's knowledgeable, kind and honest, desired. Oddly enough, I guess you had to have that love aspect to it. But despite all that, he's still feared, and because he is a master with a sword. It's like he can't see you, but he can cut you down. So yeah, it's one of those things where you don't take Zatoichi lightly or try to take advantage of him, because it'll be the last thing you do. And he'll do it with style, and he'll do it without blinking an eye, because, well, he can't see, so he keeps his eyes closed for the most part. But yeah, it really is. It's the introduction of the character of Zatoichi, and who he is. It's clear from this that a lot of people, and if you watch it now, if you've watched any samurai or martial arts or even action films now, you may think that this film, oh wow, it's nothing new. It's I've seen all this before. Yes, you did most likely see pretty much every aspect of this film before, but this is the original. This is the one from 1962. This is what everybody pulled from, got their inspiration from. So while it may seem like this is a been here done that type film, when you think about it in terms of when it was actually made, not so much. This was all new. This was this was traditional. Well, I mean, I guess if you'd been watching stage plays and stuff like that, then yeah, maybe you've seen the story before. But this is traditional story of essentially like a samurai story, but it's on film, and you're immersed into that world. Whereas if you had seen a similar story on the stage, it wouldn't be the same. Well, nearly the same. One of the things I found odd about the film was the use of music. It's there, but it's not there a lot. There are a lot of moments where there's no music, traditional or otherwise. I was quite surprised, because I expected it to be more, I don't know, it's powerful, like drive the story, but no, it literally, it's a character piece, so it's very much about Zatoichi and what he says and how he reacts in certain sequences. So you don't really need, I guess you don't need the music, though I do think if you rescored it now, it might play a little bit better to a modern audience. But again, purist in me says don't do that. But yeah, if you are into, samurai films, and you'd like to mix that samurai and Yakuza, it's not the Yakuza, modern Yakuza with the guns and the drugs and all that kind of stuff. No, this is old school Yakuza, very much an old samurai film, but where the gangs in the towns control all the seedy elements. So it's swords rather than guns that decide who is in control. And if that at all interests you, then I definitely say, you know, Zatoichi is something that you want to look into. And in this case, the first film, The Tale of Zatoichi, or Zatoichi Monogatari, is a good place to start, and you can move from there. Obviously, as you go through the series and you see, you know, more modern Zatoichi films, the action is going to be better, the filming is going to be better. The stories may not be as good. But you may find it to be a little bit more entertaining for, you know, the modern person, the modern audience goer, if you will. But yeah, like I said, start with the Tale of Zatoichi and go on from there. Yeah, it's definitely worthwhile. Yeah. I mean, there are, now keep in mind, you have to get the right one, right? I can say Zatoichi. This is the Zatoichi, you know, 1962, black and white. The Blind Swordsman, right? There are other Blind Swordsman movies out there. There are other Zatoichi stuff out there. Make sure you get the right one. Start from the beginning and work up from there. Look online. Get, you know, an idea of what comes in, you know, first, which ones are after that, which ones are remakes, which ones are different stories, which are, you know, use the character of the Blind Swordsman but aren't part of the, you know, Zatoichi series. Get to know all those. You know what? You can watch them all. Go for it. If you have the time, burn through them. If you're into that thing, you know what? I think you'll have a great time. And so, yeah, so this concludes this part of the the 2015 scavenger hunt. I'm sure there will be another video coming up soon. So until next time, take care. Have a good one.